Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku, and I'm here to talk about the fall 2020 anime season. Not gonna lie, this season is pretty overwhelming, with more anime airing than ever before. But I managed to check out a little bit of everything, whether it be one episode or 3. Either way, this year is finally going to end, so we might as well end it with tons of anime. Man, what a way to go. Anyway, let's get started. Jujutsu Kaisen has been talked about for a while, and its anime has finally arrived. First off, this has gotta be one of the best ending themes since Kekai Sensen. Second, you got Yuichi Nakamura charming all genders once again. Seriously, how many more characters can this man use to charm us with? Third is the main character Itadori's resolve. This anime focuses a lot on death, but treats it with care as Itadori's goal is to have everyone die a proper death. And after gaining the powers of the Demon King, which ultimately turns him into a TikTok e-boy, he pretty much has no choice. And finally, the art and animation are spectacular. The world is also interesting too. With it being a dark supernatural shonen, you'd think it's just a simple demons versus humans thing. But there's more to it. And if you don't pay attention, you could get confused, so make sure you're awake. It's a pretty fun anime that I'm sure you'll have a blast with. If we're sticking with the hype train, then we gotta mention Haikyuu's return. As the most popular sports anime out there, fanboys and fangirls alike are screaming over their favorite characters, aka not Karasuno, but the Mia twins, and anyone else who is commentating. It's as if it never left. But it's the fall season, which means spoopy time. I know a lot of us like to go back and watch some horror anime. But what happens when the most iconic horror anime is brought back for a new generation? Well, first off, you get some pretty hilarious reactions from the newbies. And second, you get Higurashi new. Sorta. I'd rather not get into spoilers, but work with me here. I'm not a big fan of the new art style, as I think they look like more colorful blobs, but I'm very impressed with the pacing. The pacing of the original Higurashi was its biggest setback. I can finally sit down, take out the kotatsu, drink my hot chocolate, and get cozy to scenes like this. Ah, yeah. Nothing beats the nostalgia. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's talk about some actual cozy anime. Thankfully, we have quite a few. If you're obsessed with witches like I am, then you might like Wandering Witch. Make sure you give it the good old 3-episode test, since episode 1 is essentially the prologue for the journey ahead. We follow the genius witch Elena as she travels from town to town. That's it! It's a pleasant watch for a Sunday afternoon, or maybe a nice binge when it finishes airing. I usually avoid sketch comedies, especially ones that have 3 sketches per episode. I normally find myself not liking most of the sketches and end up zoning out, but Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle surprised me. For an anime about a cute princess trying to get some goddamn sleep, it's actually pretty entertaining. And that's all thanks to the princess herself. Silas is the embodiment of that Arson Elmo meme. She is adorable, but all that cuteness gets tossed out whenever someone gets in the way of her rest. Silas will destroy powerful weapons, use a priest as a weapon with her bare hands, and even commit murder. You start to fear that pretty face real quick. Each time she goes feral, I have to pause the episode because I can't believe what I'm witnessing. Oh yeah, and sometimes she fails her sleep missions and dies. Yes, dies. One episode will let you know whether or not this is for you, so feel free to give it a shot. You know what we need? More witches, of course! Enter the 3-episode OVA that we all know will eventually become a full-length series, Burn the Witch. Now, I know this is a spin-off of Clorox, but I never watched it as a kid. Coming in with literally no expectations or comparisons, I ended up having a blast. The setting, cool. The soundtrack, cool. The characters, cool. Dragons, cool. Bang knife, sexy. It's everything I could ever want. With so much to this world, there's literally no doubt in my mind that this will be a 25+ episode anime in the future. Which is great, because I want more Bang Knife. Please, dear God, give me more of this man so that there can be merch. Do not skip out on Talentless Nana, please. This is the definition of a dark horse. You remember last year when me and a couple of other YouTubers were talking about how you need to watch Kanata no Astra? But not that many people did. and so they missed out on all the suspense and twists. That's Talentless Nana for you. It's super hard to discuss why this anime is so good without spoiling it, so all I'm gonna say is that if you like the setting of My Hero Academia, the premise of Assassination Classroom, and the psychological aspects of Classroom of the Elite, then you have to watch Talentless Nana. Another underrated show this season is from the wild creator of Danganronpa, Akudama Drive. There's something about a heist that makes it so entertaining. You're watching these god-awful people steal stuff for money. They may all be pieces of shit, but they're our pieces of shit. For real though, these bad guys are insane, but they're so cool at what they do that you just can't help but want them to commit more crimes and kill people. The art is stunning and the setting is cyberpunk, with some well-done editing to boot. It's a fun anime that you should watch for sure. Oh, you thought we were done talking about the bad guys? Nah. Ikebukuro Westgate Park follows a gang called the G-Boys. Yes, very threatening. Which is totally not the dollars from Durarara, as they get handed with cases and use other people in the town to help, which is totally not the premise of Hakata Tonkotsu Ramens. Okay, so it may not be refreshing, but what else does it have going for it? The opening is my favorite of the season, and the ensemble cast is pretty cool. But it does fall flat on the story department. Each case gets solved within one episode, making them feel super rushed. And so many events happen in a matter of minutes, like,
I'm leaving you.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm not leaving you.
Oh, thank God.
That is not an exaggeration, by the way. Shit like that happens all the time in a matter of 2 minutes. I say keep it on the back burner. If you've been following me for a while, you know I love Sherlock to the point where I spend every penny to roll for him on FGO only to get nothing. This time we follow his rival James Moriarty. He's portrayed as more of an anti-hero rather than a villain this time, which makes it even more fun to root for him. Set in Victorian London where the caste system is at an all-time high, Moriarty is here to help out the people of the slums in order to get their revenge on the rich. What can I say, guys? Eat the rich. We're getting into the groove of having at least one soft gay anime a year. This time around, we have Adachi and Shimamura. You have the titular characters ditching class every day and slowly recognizing that they like each other more than friends. Oh, and there's this tiny alien girl who's looking for her friend? I don't understand what that's about, but watch it for the gay. It's super sweet. Okay, so now we've moved on from a tiny alien to a tiny god. Are legal lollies making a comeback? The Day I Became a God is another work from Jun Maeda. You know, the guy responsible for Clanad, Angel Beats, Charlotte, Canon, and your middle school depression. The one and only Odin has come to Earth to let this random kid know that the world will end in 30 days. While sketchy of the self-proclaimed god, the main character decides to spend his remaining days by getting his dream girl. You know, saying that out loud, this is starting to sound like the plot of Aladdin. No, not that! It's a simple anime that's very funny, but not a must-watch. And finally, Golden Kamui is... Golden Kamui. What anime are you watching this season? Are there any other series I should check out? I probably can't because I just have way too much going on, but hey, you know, feel free to give your opinion. I'd like to give a very special shout out to Giovanni Herrera for donating to my Patreon. If you'd like a very special shout out in the next video, stream, or what have you, then please click on the Patreon link in the description to donate, as well as links to my social media. I'm your female otaku, sayonara.